There are things your agent knows about Fort Myers that you probably don't. And I don't mean that in a conspiratorial way, I mean it practically. There are costs, risks, and market dynamics in this area that most agents simply don't volunteer because it's not in their interest to slow the conversation down. Right now, more than 30% of active listings in the Cape Coral Fort Myers area have had price reductions. Homes here are sitting a median of 119 days before selling. That's 54% longer than the national median. So this is not a market where you need to rush, but it is a market where you need to be informed. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through what agents aren't telling buyers in general and why, the 4 Fort Myers specific issues that don't show up on any listing, and how to tell before you ever sign a buyer's agreement whether the agent across the table is actually in your corner. Hey, I'm Rick Harrison. I went through this exact process as a relocation buyer myself, moving down from the Northeast. And I built my entire team around protecting buyers from the surprises I almost didn't see coming. Let's start with something that applies whether you're buying in Fort Myers, San Francisco, or anywhere in between. There are structural issues inside every real estate transaction that most buyers don't know about and most agents don't volunteer. Buyer's agent versus seller's agent, the conflict of interest. Picture this, you find a house you love. Your agent is excited. The offer goes in fast, everything feels like it's working. What you might not know is that in some cases, your agent and the seller's agent work for the same brokerage. In some situations, they're the same person entirely. That's called dual agency, or down here, a transaction broker. And a Zillow analysis published in May 2026 found that home sellers lost a collective $1.49 billion over 3 years, specifically because of dual agency situations. About $2,165 per seller on average. And Florida sellers specifically lost $217 million of that total. Now here's something specific to Florida that most agents won't bring up unprompted. Florida actually bans traditional dual agency by law. Under Florida statute 475.278, a real estate licensee may not operate as a disclosed or non-disclosed dual agent. Instead, Florida defaults to what's called transaction brokerage. This means your agent is legally a facilitator, not a full fiduciary advocate. They are not required to fight for your best interest the way a buyer's exclusive representative would be. Most buyers assume they have someone fully in their corner. In Florida, unless you've specifically arranged for a single agent representation in writing, the default is that your agent is facilitating the deal for both sides, not exclusively advocating for you. What does this mean in practice? You could be sitting in a transaction where the person who's supposed to be representing you can't fully advocate for you. Their obligation is to keep the deal moving. The fix is straightforward. Ask up front before you sign anything. Ask what your specific representation relationship is. Ask whether your agent can operate as your single agent in writing rather than as a transaction broker. A good agent will welcome that question. One who gets defensive or vague is telling you something. Inspection and contingency waiver pressure. This one makes me genuinely uncomfortable as someone with a contractor background. According to the National Association of Realtors Confidence Index, 21% of buyers waived their inspection contingency in September 2025. That's up from 17% just a year earlier. More than 1 in 5 buyers are walking into a purchase without the protection of a professional inspection. Here's what that number actually represents. Buyers who were told, directly or indirectly, that waiving the inspection would make their offer more competitive. Sometimes that pressure is explicit. Sometimes it's just the agent's tone when they mention multiple offers. The outcome is the same. A buyer skips the one step designed to protect them. The data on inspections is pretty clear. 86% of home inspections uncover at least one issue requiring attention. Buyers who negotiate using inspection findings save an average of $14,000 off the sale price. Even 65% of new construction inspections reveal issues during the building process. So the idea that a new build doesn't need an inspection is not true. It's particularly important here. In Fort Myers, the inspection conversation isn't just about finding a leaky faucet. Roof age matters enormously. The difference between a pre-2004 roof and a post-2004 code-compliant roof can affect your insurance eligibility and your annual premium by thousands of dollars. Wind mitigation features, evidence of past flood intrusion, and AC system age are all things a thorough inspection flags that directly change your insurance math. Never waive an inspection here. Not in this market, not in any property, resale, or new construction. The real cost of homeownership beyond the mortgage. This is the one that surprised even financially sophisticated buyers. You run the numbers, you know the mortgage payment, you've budgeted, then 6 months in, you realize the mortgage is only part of what you're paying every single month. A clever real estate survey of 1,000 homeowners published in May 2026 found the typical homeowner spends $23,686 per year on non-mortgage expenses. That's utilities, maintenance, property taxes, and insurance. Nearly $2,000 a month on top of whatever you're financing. A Bankrate study puts the annual non-mortgage cost at around $21,400, or roughly $1,800 a month nationally. Multiple data points land in the same range. Now here's the thing. Those national figures don't include a second flood insurance policy. They don't include utility assessment. They don't include HOA and CDD fees, all of which are common line items in Fort Myers. I've run the math on $600,000 homes here where the total non-mortgage annual cost comes out between $35,000 and $45,000 a year. That's $3,000 to $3,700 a month before you've made a single mortgage payment. That number isn't designed to scare you, it's designed to make sure you're planning around the real figure, not the mortgage calculator figure, because those are two very different things. And that brings us to Fort Myers specifically. Part 2, what agents aren't telling you about Fort Myers. Fort Myers issue number 1, insurance costs. If there's one line item that separates buyers who planned well from buyers who didn't, it's insurance. Here's a number most agents don't volunteer up front. Annual homeowners insurance in Fort Myers currently runs between $3,500 and $7,000 or more per year. The blended Lee County average sits around $3,600. The Florida state average is $2,500 to $6,000. The national average is $1,200 to $2,400. So before you factor in a single dollar of flood insurance, you're already paying 2 to 3 times what buyers in most other parts of the country pay for the same coverage. And flood insurance is a separate policy entirely. Many buyers don't know that until they're already under contract. So here's why the numbers sit where they do. Hurricane Ian made landfall in Lee County in 2022 and caused billions in insured losses, which directly hit availability and pricing across the entire region. That event is still working its way out through the market in 2026. The market is improving. There are now roughly 17 new insurers that have entered Florida in the past few years. Citizens Property Insurance is cutting the rates, and the state's My Safe Florida Home program was renewed with $280 million in the 2025-2026 budget to help homeowners harden their roofs and windows, which directly lowers your premium. So that's real progress, but it doesn't make insurance a simple number on any given property. On riverfront and Gulf access properties, which are some of the ones I work most often with, you're looking at premiums that run 20 to 50% higher than comparable inland homes. On the barrier islands like Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel, you're realistically looking at $7,000 to $8,000 or more per year. A well-built, elevated post-2022 construction home with new roof is a completely different insurance conversation than a 1995 built home a few blocks away. My contractor background matters here. I can walk a property and tell you what the insurer is going to flag before they ever send out an underwriter. And that's not something every agent can do. The point isn't that Fort Myers is uninsurable. It isn't. The point is that you need the real insurance number before you make an offer, not after you're under contract. Fort Myers issue number 2, HOA and CDD fees. Here's a mistake I see out-of-state buyers make constantly. They pull up 2 listings, one is $480,000 and one is $510,000. They lean toward the lower one because it's cheaper. But what if the $480,000 home has a $475 per month HOA and a CDD fee that adds $2,000 to the annual tax bill? And that $510,000 home has neither. The Cape Coral Fort Myers Metro ranks 4th in the entire country for HOA fees as a share of a typical mortgage payment. The median HOA fee here is about $475 a month. That's nearly 20% of the average mortgage payment, on top of the mortgage itself. CDD fees, which are Community Development District fees, are a separate charge that most buyers don't even know exists until they see their first property tax bill. These fees don't show up on the monthly association statement. The county collects them as part of your property tax, and around Fort Myers, they typically add $1,000 to $2,500 per year to your tax burden, running for 20 to 30 years until the district's infrastructure bonds are paid off. And this isn't a rare situation. Plenty of the most popular Fort Myers communities are CDD communities. Gateway, Colonial Country Club, Heritage Palms, Paseo, Veranda, Renaissance, River Hall, Miramar Lakes. If you're shopping in newer master plan neighborhoods, especially out towards the 33913 corridor, there's a good chance a CDD is a part of the picture. Run that math. A $500,000 home with both HOA and CDD fees can cost $300 to $550 per month more than a comparable $500,000 home with neither. Over 10 years, that's $36,000 to $66,000 in additional costs. Money that never showed up on the listing. There's also a reason HOA fees are rising here specifically. After the 2021 Surfside condo collapse, Florida passed stricter reserve funding requirements for associations. Communities that weren't adequately funded had to increase dues quickly. That's still working its way through the system in 2026. When I sit down with a relocation buyer, the first thing I build out is a total annual cost of ownership number, not just the mortgage. Because Fort Myers isn't a yes or no. It's a buy it the right way, in the right community with the full picture. Fort Myers issue number 3. Septic, sewer, and special assessments. This one blindsides more out-of-state buyers than almost anything else I can think of. Most buyers from up north assume every home is connected to city sewer. In a lot of Fort Myers, that's true, but large sections of North Fort Myers, the older neighborhoods, and the unincorporated Lee County pockets around the city are still on septic. And whether a home is on septic or sewer is one of the most expensive details that almost never makes it onto the listing. So here's the math that catches people. If you buy a septic home and that area gets connected to municipal sewer or your system fails, you're looking at a conversion that runs $15,000 to $25,000 out of pocket. When the utility extends sewer lines to a neighborhood like in the northern parts of the Cape Coral area, the cost often comes back to the property owners as a non-ad valorem special assessment. That assessment follows the property. It shows up on your tax bill and it can run for years. Hurricane Ian made this worse. The storm damaged or destroyed thousands of septic systems across Lee County in 2022, especially in low-lying and coastal areas. A system that looks fine on the surface can have a compromised drain field underneath it. So if you bought a post-Ian home without a real septic inspection, you may be sitting on a 5-figure problem you don't even know about yet. So here's where it gets tricky. 2 homes on the same street can be in completely different situations. One is already on sewer, one is on septic with a conversion assessment coming. One has a healthy system, one has a field that's about to fail. The MLS listing won't always tell you which situation you're in. The verification step you want, confirm the property's utility status using the Lee GIS Data Explorer at leegov.com. And check with Lee County utilities or relevant city departments on whether the area is scheduled for a sewer connection. That lookup is not optional. This is exactly where my contractor background earns its keep. I can walk a property and spot the warning signs of a tire drain field or flag a likely assessment before you ever write an offer. That's the kind of thing that doesn't come up unless your agent is actually looking for it. We've covered insurance, HOAs, CDDs, and the septic versus sewer question. If you get any one of these wrong going in, you could be looking at $5,000 to $10,000 a year more than you budgeted. Grab my free Southwest Florida relocation kit using the link in the description. It includes flood zone breakdowns by the area, insurance costs, expectations by area, HOA and CDD comparisons across communities, and a full cost of living breakdown so you have the real numbers before you ever make an offer. The link's in the description at swflrelocationteam.com. Fort Myers issue number 4, flood zones. This is the one I want you to pay most attention to. Flood zone misunderstanding causes more expensive mistakes for otherwise well-prepared buyers than anything else we've covered today. Most buyers think of flood zones as a binary question. Am I in a flood zone or not? The answer in Fort Myers is almost never that simple. Fort Myers sits along the Caloosahatchee River and just a few miles from the Gulf, which puts a large share of the city in AE and VE zones. And here's what most people don't realize. 2 homes in Zone AE on the same street can pay $1,400 and $2,800 annually for flood insurance. Same zone, same street, nearly double the cost. Under FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0, the difference comes down to individual elevation, distance to the water, and how the specific lot sits relative to flood frequency. There's an Ian wrinkle here too. If a home was substantially damaged, meaning repairs would have cost 50% or more of its pre-storm value, the rebuild has to meet current elevation code. That's a major cost and structure difference between a home that was already brought up to code and one that wasn't. And FEMA has been remapping. Previously unmapped areas in South Fort Myers and Estero have been pulled into AE zones, so older assumptions about a property may no longer hold. So here's the part that really matters. The MLS listing often has the wrong flood zone data. Zillow frequently shows outdated or incorrect designations. The authoritative source is FEMA's Flood Map Service Center at msc.fema.gov. My preferred flood verification tool is the Lee County Flood Map Portal at leegov.com/DCD/flood. Those are the 2 places you actually verify a property's flood zone, not the listing. This isn't a small thing. The difference between a Zone X property and a Zone AE property can be $1,500 to $2,500 a year in flood insurance or more. Over a 10-year hold, that's $15,000 to $25,000 in costs that weren't visible on the listing sheet. How to spot an honest agent before you sign. So how do you actually know whether the agent you're talking to is giving you the full picture? You don't have to guess. You just have to ask 3 specific questions before you sign a buyer's agreement and watch how they respond. The first question is, what is my specific representation relationship with you, transaction broker or single agent? In Florida, the law defaults to transaction broker, not full fiduciary representation. Most buyers don't know that. A good agent will explain exactly what that means before you ever ask. If an agent gets evasive or acts like the question is unusual, that's information. The second question is, can you show me the flood zone designation directly from FEMA's map, not from the MLS listing? If an agent can't pull the Lee County Flood Map Portal at leegov.com and walk you through what it means for insurance on that specific property, that's a gap in their process. The MLS regularly shows outdated or incorrect flood data. An agent who knows how to verify this is an agent who's done this before and done it right. The third question is, can you give me a total annual cost of ownership on this property, including HOA, CDD, flood insurance, homeowners insurance, and whether it's on septic or sewer? Watch what happens. If the agent gives you an estimate on the spot without verifying the CDD balance, without running an insurance scenario, without confirming the property's utility status, and any open special assessment, they're guessing. Their guess could cost you $5,000 to $10,000 a year or more. An honest agent will either have the answers or will know exactly where to get them. They won't make you feel like you're asking too much. You don't need certainty before you buy in Fort Myers, you just need clarity. And clarity comes from having someone on your side who's not trying to move the transaction faster than your understanding allows. Everything I just walked you through, the representation question, the inspection process, the insurance math on a waterfront or riverfront property, the flood zone verification, the septic versus sewer check, that's the conversation I have with every single relocation client before they ever make an offer. So if you're moving to Fort Myers without someone who does that work up front, you're making a decision with incomplete information. In this market, that gap shows up as real money. Call or text me directly at 239-310-5478 or use the contact information in the description and the pinned comment. That's the fastest way to get the full picture on any property you're considering. And if you want to start building that picture before we ever talk, scan the QR code on your screen or use the link in the description to download my free Southwest Florida relocation kit. It covers flood zones by area, insurance cost expectations, HOA and CDD comparisons, and a full cost of living breakdown. Everything you need to walk into this market with your eyes open. That's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.